Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Micro Investor, where we do technical analysis and price predictions on many different cryptocurrencies every single day. Now, in this video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin again, and we're going to be analyzing, though, someone else's content. We're going to look real quick at what Altcoin Daily recently talked about in one of their videos. They had Carl the Moon on, and in that video, there was something interesting that Carl did say. It was a very bullish statement, and he was doing an analysis here talking about this falling wedge within Bitcoin and talking about how that in a short period of time that the price of Bitcoin could be going to $70,000. Obviously, I'm not someone that's bearish on Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, but let's just kind of analyze this timeline here that he's going off of and the way that he's saying that the price of Bitcoin is going to be breaking out soon. Now, I'm not going to play much of his video. Obviously, I don't want to go into too much of someone else's content, and I don't even want to play the audio here. So just to explain a little bit about what is going on. He's saying, so if we break this resistance here, then we could be in for a pretty severe breakout is what he's saying. And he's saying that this falling wedge pattern will go back up to that $70,000 price. More than likely, that'd be the case, going right back and above Bitcoin's all-time highs that it had. And he's saying it's going to reach this target possibly within the next 3 months is what he's saying. So obviously, with me being bullish on Bitcoin, I agree with the whole falling wedge. I've said this multiple times myself. I agree that breakout with Bitcoin is going to happen at some point, and especially things do look a lot more bullish when you look at this falling wedge and how the consolidation that we've been seeing from the point from this 52-week low in June, and how we've just continued to consolidate more and more sideways within this falling wedge pattern. And also, the thing is, with these falling wedges, you're not too sure yet when this wedge is going to have a breakout, because we've had these multiple attempts here with this trend. So in the case of a falling wedge, one of the things is you don't want to catch a falling knife, and that's what you want to avoid. So, like in this case, if you were to say that the price is moving to the side here, and you were thinking that at some point we'll see that price break out. Well, if you would have tried to catch the price of Bitcoin at this point, well, then from this point you could have obviously lost more money. If you were seeing more consolidation from this point, and you were thinking that it's going to have its big breakout here, I mean, obviously you would have lost more money. There were still continuously more and more opportunities for Bitcoin to continue to fall. But now that we have more confirmation about this trend here, and we have other attempts to break out of this trend, what this is telling us now that at some point, more than likely we're either going to have this breakout from this trend, or at the same time, this could just be another step down within this trend. This could be another wave that we would then end up having to trend sideways in to have a breakout. So the best thing to always do is to use Elliot wave theory and look at the possibility of there being 5 waves within this, and how is that all going to break down. So when we break down these different impulses here, well, this being the all-time high being the start of our wave 1, and then going to our wave 2, then our wave 3 is obviously the one that's going to have a more steep decline. And then we have this wave 4 that's going to be a shorter wave. And then our last corrective wave. We could easily say that, we're within that wave 5 right now, and especially with all this consolidation. But also this wave 5 could be something that could be down here more. That's what we're not too sure about. But I do expect that this breakout will happen. And if I was going to look for an entry point to be more bullish, then at the end of this trend line right here, I would say, this would be that opportunity, given the fact that we're against that trend line, and the possibility of seeing this breakaway from this trend happen very likely. And actually, just right where I put that is around where I think that we're going to see this wave happen here. So as we do end up breaking out of this trend, like I was saying in yesterday's video, that as we correct and we break out, I think that it's going to be more of an ABC type correction. And as far as the timeline goes, my timeline is a bit different than what Carl's is, because I think that we're going to struggle a bit within that first wave to the upside. So I think that $30,000 price would be around where we'd get to, and really have a bit of resistance at that point. Because even though that we came down within this wave 3 here, we did see multiple areas of support within this, and I think that that's going to act as a little bit of resistance. So I think that there would be some corrections, say right back down to where our wave 4 was, and then we would have that C wave that would be that much larger impulse. But as far as that being something over the next 3 months, taking it back to 70,000, I think that to recover about 50% of this would be more than likely to see within the next 3 months. I don't think that we're going to rise up that quickly. That would be amazing if we did, but there would be a lot more people jumping on Bitcoin for sure if that was to be the case, if there were some sort of confirmation of that. So more than likely, I would think that we would rise back up to where this wave 2 is, and that would take us around to like $48,000, $50,000 more than likely. And that would take us into January of 2023. Now, of course, though, there's no confirmation of us completing this wave 5 to the downside yet. So that could have more to fall. And this breakout here could be something that could take a bit longer, and then we would have to add more onto our timeline. So thinking that by the 3rd week of January or early February, that we would complete the wave C if this was to work out in this current scenario. But the odds of seeing a 3-month price reversal all the way back to the top, that's still, in my opinion, very pretty unlikely. But I do like his thinking. I don't want to I'm not trying to criticize him and say that he's wrong, because I think he's right about the price of Bitcoin going back up, of course. But I think that maybe the timeline might be a more bullish than maybe I'm comfortable with. But I obviously I respect him being bullish for saying that as well. So I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be negative of the guy or overly criticizing him for that. Also, I want to show you guys the couple things that we also have to pay attention to. As you know, pretty much every video I'm doing this, and I'm looking at this bull market support band right now, which is the bear market resistance band at the moment. We're lining right up anyways to get on the other side of this, and our moving averages, if we look on the daily chart, our moving averages are also moving out of this trend. So our 50-day moving average is right now working its way out of this trend, and so our 20-day moving average is going to be moving out of this trend as well. So this is all bullish things to happen right now. So the only thing that could really go on is that price of Bitcoin to just drop more within this wave 5. So anyways, that's my thoughts currently on Bitcoin. I just wanted to kind of just talk about that video because I thought it was interesting. I noticed that within the comments of that video, of Altcoin Daily's video, that it was getting a bit of criticism. And I'm just thinking, don't knock the guy for being bullish, but at the same time, it's just always worth hearing another opinion. And I think that he's on the right track. Just his timeline might be a bit too bullish is what I'm thinking. So anyways, with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New content coming out all the time. I talk about many different cryptocurrencies on this channel. So I'm going to jump on the next cryptocurrency to talk about right now. I'll see you guys next one.